Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are opening up a topic that I think probably frustrates almost everyone at some point in their lives.
Oh, absolutely. It's a universal pain point.
Right.
Yeah.
We are talking about the mystery of wealth. And I don't mean the sort of typical buy low, sell high advice you get on cable news.
Yeah, we are going way deeper than that today.
Exactly. Our mission today is to tackle that fundamental nagging question. Why do some people seem to have this, like, magnetic relationship with money where it just flows to them?
While others work their fingers to the bone, do everything right, and still struggle to pay the rent.
Yes, it really is the ultimate frustration.
Oh,
Because logically, the hardest worker should be the wealthiest.
Right. That is the equation we are all taught in school. Input equals output. Hard work equals success.
But we all know that one person who is incredibly smart, incredibly hardworking, and just cannot seem to get ahead.
Yep. And then there's the other person who maybe isn't the sharpest tool in the shed.
But everything they touch turns to gold.
Exactly. And we usually write it off as luck, or maybe they had rich parents, or they just knew the right people.
We love those external explanations, don't we?
Oh, we do, because they let us off the hook. If it's the economy or the government or our upbringing, then it's not our fault.
Right. But the source material we are diving into today, which is heavily based on the teachings of T. Harv Eker, completely flips that narrative on its head.
It really does. The thesis here is uncomfortable, but it's also incredibly liberating.
Because it says it's not about the economy. It's not even about your financial skills or what you do.
No, it's about your psychology. It is about who you are and how you think.
Which is a pretty bold claim to make. You're saying a stockbroker with a bad mindset will do worse than, I don't know, a baker with a great mindset?
Over the long term, absolutely. The core truth established in the material is that wealth is the result of a specific internal software. They call it your money blueprint.
Okay, money blueprint. Sounds a bit like architectural jargon. Are we building a house here?
Think less house and more operating system. Imagine your brain is a high-powered computer.
Okay, I'm with you.
You can have the best hardware in the world. You can be smart, talented, educated. But if you're running software that was programmed back in 1995 and is absolutely full of viruses
That computer's going to crash.
every single time,
So in this analogy, the virus is what? Our beliefs.
specifically your subconscious beliefs about money, about success, and about wealthy people.
Right.
And here is the real kicker. You didn't even write this software. It was pre-installed.
Pre-installed by who? Like our parents, society.
Both. Think back to when you were a kid. Everything you heard about money, everything you saw your parents do with money, every emotional experience you had around it.
That was all data being entered into the hard drive.
Exactly. It's childhood programming.
So if I grew up hearing things like, money doesn't grow on trees, or filthy rich, or we can't afford that, that's not just background noise.
No, that is executable code. Let's take the phrase rich people are greedy. A lot of people hear that growing up.
Yeah, that's a really common one.
If your subconscious mind links rich with greedy and bad, and you consider yourself a good person, what is your brain going to do?
It's going to make sure I don't get rich because I don't want to be bad.
Precisely. You will unconsciously push money away. You will sabotage yourself.
Like blowing a job interview.
Or overspending right when you get a bonus. Or passing up a great investment because it just, quote unquote, feels wrong.
Because your brain is trying to protect your identity as a good person by keeping you broke. That is actually terrifying.
It is. It means you could be fighting a war against yourself and not even realize it.
But is it always just about money being bad? What about people who just feel like they aren't meant to be wealthy?
That is the other side of the blueprint, the worthiness setting.
How does that work?
If you grew up in an environment where money was always a struggle, where the prevailing mood was scarcity, your blueprint essentially sets a thermostat.
A financial thermostat.
Right. Let's say your internal thermostat is set to earning $50,000 a year.
Okay, so I'm a 50K a year person in my head.
Yes. If you suddenly get a lucky break and make $100,000, your subconscious panic alarm goes off.
Because I'm overheating.
Exactly. You are outside your blueprint's comfort zone. So what happens? You find a way to cool the room down.
By doing what?
You'll make a bad investment, you'll get into a fender bender that costs money, or you'll just fritter it away until you are safely back at $50,000.
Wow. This completely explains lottery winners. You always hear those stories about people winning millions and being flat broke 3 years later.
It's the exact same mechanism. They tried to run a billion-dollar amount of energy through a $1,000 emotional conduit.
The fuse just blew.
The source material argues that your income can only grow to the extent that you do.
So if you don't change the thermostat setting, the external reality will always snap back to match the internal blueprint.
Always. Every time.
Okay, so we have this software, and most of us probably have some buggy code in there. How do we spot it?
The material contrasts two very specific mental patterns, the rich mindset and the poor mindset.
Now, I have to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Yeah.
Labeling a mindset as poor feels a little harsh, doesn't it?
I get that.
Kind of sounds like we are blaming people for struggling.
I'm really glad you brought that up because it is a crucial distinction to make for everyone listening.
Right.
When the source talks about rich and poor here, it is not talking about the size of your bank account. It is talking about your locus of control.
Locus of control. Okay, that's a psychology term. Break that down for us.
Sure. It essentially asks the question, who is driving the bus? The poor mindset, regardless of how much money the person actually has in the bank, operates from a place of victimhood.
Meaning they think life happens to them.
Exactly. The narrative is always external.
Like, the economy is bad, my boss is a jerk, the industry is changing.
Yes. They play the blame game, they justify their situation, and they complain.
Which the source points out is incredibly destructive.
Very. It states that what you focus on expands. So if you are complaining, you are essentially a giant magnet for more crap.
So the poor mindset is passive. It's sitting there waiting for a rescue boat that just isn't coming.
Correct. Now contrast that with the rich mindset. The core belief there is, I create my life.
Not that they control everything, obviously. You can't control the weather or the stock market.
Right. But it's the belief of, I control my reaction and my outcome.
So if a person with a rich mindset goes broke, they don't say the system is rigged. They say, I messed up.
They say, I created this mess so I can create my way out of it. They take radical responsibility.
And because they take responsibility, they have the power to change it.
Exactly. If you believe your problem is caused by the government, you have to wait for the government to change before you can succeed.
Which is a completely powerless position to be in.
Totally powerless.
That makes a lot of sense. It is empowering, but it's also heavy. It means you can't really make excuses anymore.
That is the trade-off. You give up your excuses, you gain your financial freedom.
And you can actually hear this difference in the vocabulary people use, which was one of my favorite parts of the reading.
Oh, the power of a single phrase.
Yes, the linguistic shift between I can't afford it and how can I afford it?
It seems like such a small semantic trick, doesn't it? But neurologically, it is massive.
Because when you say I can't afford it, you are making a statement of fact.
You are executing a shutdown command to your brain. Your subconscious hears, we can't do this, and it stops working. It just goes to sleep.
You're slamming the door shut on any possibility.
But when you ask, how can I afford it? You are opening a search query.
You are forcing your brain to problem solve.
Exactly. Even if you do not have the money right now, the question forces your neurons to fire.
Maybe I can sell something. Maybe I can negotiate. Maybe I can partner with someone.
The rich mindset is utterly obsessed with possibility. The poor mindset is obsessed with limitation.
It reminds me of that Henry Ford quote, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
He was spot on. But let's be real for a second. Thinking, how can I afford it, is great, but taking the action to do it is uncomfortable.
Yeah, let's talk about this comfort trap, because everyone says they want to be wealthy.
Sure.
If you ask a room full of people who wants $1 million, every single hand goes up.
Yeah.
But the notes say there is a subconscious conflict there.
There is a massive war going on between your desire for success and your desire for comfort.
Right.
The source puts it very bluntly, growth only happens outside the comfort zone.
Which is the one place we are biologically wired to avoid.
Exactly. Our lizard brain wants safety. It wants familiarity.
Wants to stay on the couch.
But here's the reality check.
Yeah.
If you want something you have never had, you have to do something you have never done. And that is going to feel scary.
I think a lot of us have this illusion that successful people are just fearless. Like, millionaires don't feel nervousness or doubt.
That is a total myth. The material is extremely clear on this point. Rich people feel fear. They feel doubt. They feel worry.
So what's the difference?
The difference is that they don't let those feelings stop them. They act in spite of the fear.
So the goal isn't to get rid of the fear before you start.
No. If you wait for the fear to go away before you start a business or make an investment, you will wait forever.
You have to move while you are afraid.
It is about training yourself to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
That connects right back to the idea of identity we touched on earlier. If my financial self-identity is I play it safe, then taking a risk feels like I am dying.
Yes, humans have a powerful psychological need to be consistent with how we define ourselves.
So if you define yourself as bad with money,
You will subconsciously panic if you actually start saving because it conflicts with your core identity. You have to rewrite the I am statement.
you have to say, I am a money manager or I am an investor, even if you only have 10 bucks in your pocket.
You have to decide your identity before the evidence shows up. That is the hard part for most people.
Because most people say, I'll feel like a rich person when I have $1,000,000.
But the psychology works the other way around. I must think and act like a rich person, and then the $1,000,000 will show up.
Okay, I have to jump in here again because I can hear some of our listeners rolling their eyes right now.
Let's hear it.
This is starting to sound a little bit like manifesting. Just sit on the couch, visualize a check in the mail, and the universe delivers. Is that what this is?
I am so glad you pushed back on that. Because that is the trap of positive thinking.
Right.
And let me be perfectly clear. The source material says positive thinking alone is useless.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because I have tried thinking my way into six-pack abs and it has not worked yet.
It's not magic. It is a formula. The source breaks down the action equation.
Thoughts lead to feelings.
Feelings lead to actions. And actions lead to results.
The missing link is always the action.
Yes. You can have the best mindset in the world. You can visualize all day long. But if you do not take action in the real world, nothing happens.
Mindset plus skills plus massive action plus persistence.
Exactly. The rich mindset isn't just about happy thoughts. It is about taking massive action.
But action is where people get stuck. Because action inherently leads to failure.
And this is the second biggest divergence between the two mindsets. It's how they view failure.
Most of us view failure as a stop sign. We say, I tried, it didn't work, I guess I'm not cut out for this.
Right. For the poor mindset, failure proves the negative belief. It proves they aren't worthy.
But the wealthy view failure as something else entirely.
They view it as information. It is feedback. It is just a data point that says, this way didn't work, try another way.
It's like lifting weights. You don't fail at the gym when your muscle gives out. That is the whole point. That is how you grow.
Exactly. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the gym for success. It's training.
If you aren't failing, you probably aren't trying hard enough.
The source emphasizes that you have to be willing to look foolish. You have to be willing to be a beginner.
And the poor mindset is so terrified of looking stupid that it never even starts.
Precisely. Fear stops investment. And on the flip side, greed creates bad risks.
Which brings us to logic and emotion. Mixing money with emotion is dangerous.
Very. Instead of asking, does this feel good right now, the wealthy ask, is this decision smart long term?
They use money as a tool.
Yeah.
So we've got the mindset, we've got the action, we've got the logic. But let's talk about the money itself.
The flow of value.
Yes. Once you start taking action, how do you actually generate wealth? Because the source had a really surprising take on this. It suggests we actually stop focusing on money.
It is the ultimate paradox of wealth. If you focus solely on how you can make money, you will likely struggle.
Because money is a result, not a cause.
Exactly. Money is just the exhaust that comes out of the car. It is not the engine.
That's a great way to put it. So what is the engine?
Value. The source introduces the law of income. You will be paid in direct proportion to the value you deliver according to the marketplace.
The value you deliver. So we need to stop chasing the dollar and start chasing the problem.
Look at the biggest companies in the world. Amazon solved the problem of buying things easily. Uber solved the problem of getting a ride.
They provided massive value to millions of people.
And the money flowed as a natural consequence. It is the giving and receiving flow. Money flows where value flows.
It shifts the entire question from what can I get to what can I give?
And that is a monumental psychological shift. Greed is actually a terrible strategy for long-term wealth because it focuses purely on extraction.
Whereas true wealth creation is about contribution. Wealth is just a side effect of that contribution.
If you want to help a lot of people, you have the potential to earn a lot of money.
So if someone is broke right now, they shouldn't be asking, why don't I have money? They should be asking, how can I be more useful?
It sounds harsh, but yes. Or, how can I serve more people?
Right. The scale matters.
Many people have a small business that helps one person at a time. They are providing value, but the scale is incredibly small.
The source challenges you to think bigger.
How can you solve this problem for 1,000 people, for 1,000,000 people?
That is that thinking big component, which, again, is uncomfortable.
Always. Small thinking creates a small life. Big thinking creates a big life, and it requires absolutely no more effort to think big than it does to think small.
It's just a decision.
Just a decision to change your focus.
This brings us right back to the start. It all feels like a giant chain reaction.
It is.
Your thoughts determine your actions determine your value determines your money, and your money reinforces your thoughts.
It is a continuous cycle, and the beautiful thing is you can break the cycle at any time, but you have to start with the software.
You have to change the thoughts first.
Yes.
So for the listener who is sitting there right now thinking, okay, I buy it, I have some boogie code, I have a thermostat set to struggle. What do I actually do today?
You have to consciously interrupt the pattern. The next time you hear yourself saying, I can't afford it, catch yourself. Stop and force your brain to ask, how can I?
Catch the verbal programming in real time.
Exactly. And the next time you feel fear about an opportunity, instead of retreating into your comfort zone, acknowledge it.
Say to yourself, I am afraid, and I'm going to do this anyway.
It is about acting in direct contradiction to your old blueprint. That is how you physically rewire the brain.
It's not about waiting for perfect timing or waiting to feel confident. It's about acting until you become confident.
Precisely. The perfect time never arrives. You just have to decide to think bigger and act smarter right now.
That is powerful.
And there is one final, really provocative thought I want to leave everyone with. It is the biggest secret the source material points to, and it really is the key to everything we've talked about.
Okay, what is the sequel?
The wealthy truly believe they deserve success, deep down in their core.
Deserve. It is a heavy word for a lot of people.
It is. Because many people work incredibly hard, but subconsciously they feel they aren't good enough or worthy of abundance.
So even if they get the money, they push it away to align with their feeling of unworthiness.
Exactly. You have to do the internal work first to believe that you add value and that you unequivocally deserve to be rewarded for it.
So here is the homework for everyone listening. And it is a tough one.
It's a mirror test.
I want you to look at your bank account, not with judgment, not with shame, but look at it simply as a printout of your current software.
That is the ultimate question. Is your current bank account a direct reflection of your hard work, or is it a reflection of your hidden fears?
If you do not like the printout, do not yell at the paper. Change the program.
Fruits and you change the fruits.
I love that. Well, that is a whole lot to chew on. I'm definitely going to go have a serious conversation with my own internal thermostat after this.
It's a conversation we all need to have.
Thanks for helping us unpack this deep dive today.
My pleasure.
And thank you for listening. We'll catch you on the next deep dive. Keep thinking big.